This company spawned dozens and dozens of other companies because of the people who were in it. Right? This was the first time I saw the value of having a top-notch team. We weren't a team that ultimately figured out how to build a successful business, but we were a team that helped one another, that learned from one another, that grew together, and as a result, we are still very closely connected today, 20 years later. We have helped one another, we have worked on other businesses together, and the value of this company was the people that were in it. So you're starting to see a theme here, right? In that leadership, people, right? The most innovative technology doesn't go anywhere if you don't have the right people. But it plugs into wall power. So Art, our CTO, asks the computer operator there, is the frame of this grounded? And the guy said yes. And so he grounds our demo kit. He plugs our demo kit in and grounds it to the computer frames. And he flips the switch, and we nearly blow up the entire test engine. Tests were over for the day. Tests were over for the entire visit. And that night, Art and I in a restaurant, and I said, Art, we really need a CTO. We can't afford a CTO. And Art says, like, well, Mike, between your knowledge of product and projects and companies and my knowledge of the sciences, together we're a CTO. And that was the lesson here that I walked away with. It's like, it's not. 1 and 1 isn't 2, right? If Art knew there was a risk that he could blow up their test engine, but didn't have the business sense to communicate it to me. I had no idea that was a possibility. And had I known it, I wouldn't have done it. That was a risk I wouldn't have been willing to take. But my business skills and Art's technical skills together didn't add up to a CTO. And so that's one thing to consider is when you're putting together a company, when you're putting together a team, the sum of the parts isn't always greater than what it would be if it were whole. We also had some dysfunction there. But this is one of the things that I did learn then, and I corrected. But it's a big lesson that I started when I hired the team, and there were 9 of us. I played the role of the CEO. Right? All right, I'm taking care of the money, I'm taking care of the people, I'm taking care of the outside relationships, and I'm looking after the business. I'm setting the vision, right? So it's about vision, people, money. That's what the CEO does. In the meantime, I had this brand new team thrust together, working their butts off in the trenches. The first version of the product was supposed to be ready in 3 months. They said 4 months. I pushed them for 3 months. But in the 4th month, I said, it's not close yet. What's going on? And so I started to lose some confidence. I got into the trenches. And put on my CTO hat, and put on my COO hat, and put on my marketing hat, and realized we're doing a lot of things wrong. And here I was saying, oh, I've done this 7 times. I know about operational excellence. How could we be screwing up execution with me at the helm? Because I wasn't in the trenches, right? What every startup needs is an obsessive founder. Someone and I've worked for many of them in my career, right? The guy who every time he comes into the room, you cringe. Or there was one founder who I gave him his own ringtone so I could not answer his calls, because every time he called, there was a change, there was something new, there was a complaint, right? I over at Infonautics, I remember Josh Kopelman. I was working with Josh Kopelman, and who subsequently went on to do Half.com and then First Round Capital, and Josh is talking about a leader in the trenches, reaches over my shoulder one day, pushes my hand away, and takes my mouse. He's standing over me, showing me how it should look, how it should work. You got to be in the trenches and know everything that's going on. You got to make people crazy. If you don't obsess over a young company, it's not going to go anywhere.